4 straight days of significant severe weather are locked in, and this parade is just getting started. Monday's models are showing 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram, nearly double what most severe weather events need. Here is what stopped me cold. Some communities this Sunday could face tornadoes after midnight while families sleep. We only need 500 to 1,000 joules for scattered severe storms. Monday is nearly tripling that threshold. At the 5-minute mark, I will show you why Monday, April 13th stands apart from everything else this week. Hang around to the end. One genuine good news story is buried inside all of this for part of the country. All right, let's get after it. Very active weather pattern and a lot of ground to cover today. The Southeast is seeing critical fire weather today as drought continues to intensify across Georgia and the Carolinas. Atlanta is at 62 degrees with scattered storms possible. The Georgia drought underneath that sunshine is genuinely alarming. Charlotte and Raleigh are sitting at 55 and 51 degrees. Dry conditions and elevated fire risk are today's Southeast story. Heavy rain continues across Florida, up to 2.5 inches still possible along the East Coast through tomorrow. Drop your exact city in the comments. Flood zone, storm zone, fire weather zone, or watching from the clear. Jacksonville is at 72 degrees with scattered storms. That pesky low pressure system keeps wringing out tropical downpours all over Florida. Miami is at 78 degrees with storms this evening. The southeast coast sees this on and off pattern for another 48 hours. The same ridge blocking rain from the drought-stricken southeast is also fueling the severe weather setup building out west. A troughing feature develops along the west coast while a ridge builds in the southeast. Classic spring severe weather setup. Tell me your city in the comments below. Wichita eyeing Saturday, Oklahoma City bracing for Sunday, Kansas City watching Monday. That trough ridge pattern allows storm systems to move over the Rockies and creates potent severe weather environments ramping up this weekend. Let's walk through this stretch day by day. Starting with today, Wednesday, April 8th, already active across central Kansas. Wichita is at 58 degrees with isolated storm risk. Any cells this afternoon could produce $quarter to $half size hail. Kansas City is at 55 degrees with isolated storm chances, but the real Kansas City story is Monday, not today. Oklahoma City is at 62 degrees. Southerly winds at 15 miles per hour are already pulling Gulf moisture northward across the Central Plains. Heading into Thursday, April 9th, the marginal risk stretches from southern Iowa through the Texas Panhandle, Kansas, and Missouri. Thursday is mainly a hail and damaging wind day tornado threat near zero, but isolated storms are still worth watching. Dallas is at 64 degrees with storm potential. Thursday cells along the Kansas-Oklahoma border need watching into Thursday evening. Lubbock is at 62 degrees. The Texas Panhandle sits in Thursday's marginal zone, and any storm could bring large hail. Amarillo is at 66 degrees today. That Gulf moisture is already showing up in the humidity numbers across the Texas Panhandle. Friday is the day this atmospheric pattern truly begins switching from westerly to that powerful southwesterly flow we need. Friday may upgrade to a slight risk across southern Kansas. Northern Oklahoma and Missouri hail and wind are primary threats. Friday storms near Springfield and Joplin will be slow-moving, and slow-moving storms mean flash flooding becomes a real companion concern. Think of Friday as the engine warming up because Saturday afternoon, that engine is revving hard across the high plains. Saturday, April 11th. This is when the real active stretch begins with a day 4 slight risk already in place. Saturday's slight risk covers western Texas, Texas Panhandle, and western Oklahoma. Damaging winds, very large hail, isolated tornado. Good grief. Outdoor plans in West Texas or the Oklahoma Panhandle. Saturday, you flat out need a rock-solid indoor backup plan. Good Lord. The Storm Prediction Center is issuing 4 simultaneous outlooks this far out. That level of early commitment tells you everything. This stretch is already being called the most significant active pattern in well over a year by professional forecasters nationwide. Now, Sunday, April 12th. This is when the threat gets noticeably more organized and the footprint expands significantly eastward. Sunday's slight risk covers southern Kansas through the heart of Oklahoma, Dallas-Fort Worth, Abilene, Tulsa, and down toward San Antonio. Sunday is more significant than Saturday. Very large hail. Damaging winds and a couple of tornadoes possible across a wide area. Here is something wild. There is a legit severe weather threat as far north as Minnesota on Sunday for mid-April. Sunday's low-pressure system will be all the way back in North Dakota by afternoon. The whole central U.S. is involved. There is a legit severe weather threat as far north as Minnesota on Sunday. Absolutely insane for mid-April. Tulsa is at 62 degrees today, sitting right in the heart of Sunday's threat zone on high alert all weekend. Nighttime tornadoes are in a completely different category of dangerous. Sirens go off while your whole family is sound asleep. Have weather alerts on every phone before Sunday. The 2 a.m. notification could be the one that matters most. If you live in a mobile home from West Texas through Oklahoma into southern Kansas, lock in your shelter plan before Saturday. A mobile home cannot protect you from a violent supercell. Know your nearest sturdy structure and be ready to move fast. Now here is the part that has every serious meteorologist in this country genuinely fired up. Monday, April 13th. Monday's slight risk covers a massive footprint from Wisconsin and Minnesota all the way south to Dallas-Fort Worth. The northern mode of Monday's threat reaches up through Iowa, Des Moines, Kansas City, Springfield, and into southwestern Wisconsin. 4 slight risks in a row only happens during the most active spring patterns. This is as real as it gets. Folks, here is the number that stops me cold. Monday's CAPE values are showing over 2,000 joules across Oklahoma and Kansas. Most severe weather events this year worked with less than 2,000 joules. Monday is about to nearly double that. When 3,000 joules of storm fuel overrides a deep, moist sector with strong wind shear, that is a tornado outbreak recipe. Monday's setup has dew points deep into the 70s across the Mississippi Valley, good Lord. That is serious storm fuel. Kansas City is at 55 degrees. By Monday, you could be sitting in the most significant severe weather corridor of this stretch. Des Moines is at 48 degrees. Monday's threat zone reaches all the way into Iowa. Full alert is absolutely needed. St. Louis is at 55 degrees today on the eastern fringe of Monday's zone, where the tornado risk could be very real. Here's the kicker. Monday is a Groundhog Day situation. A brand new storm forms right behind the Sunday system. Similar trough positioning. Similar moisture, 2 back-to-back significant events targeting much of the same corridor, just one day apart. Y'all drop your city in the comments right now. Which day has you most concerned Saturday? Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday? Wichita is at 58 degrees where Saturday starts, Sunday escalates, and Monday could deliver the worst of all 3. Oklahoma City at 62 degrees in the bullseye for Sunday and Monday, both, and that back-to-back exposure is genuinely exhausting. Springfield. Missouri is at 52 degrees today, right at the overlap zone where Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday threats all converge. Moving into Tuesday, April 14th, a new low-pressure system extends this outbreak by another full day of severe weather. Tuesday's slight risk shifts east, covering St. Louis south to Waco, Shreveport, and Little Rock with all hazards on the table. Nashville is at 60 degrees today, but midweek next week. The Tennessee Valley needs its eyes wide open. Memphis is at 68 degrees with humid southerly winds. Warm, moist air feeding next week's systems is already building. Little Rock is at 67 degrees today, sitting right in Tuesday's threat zone where all hazards will be possible. By Wednesday and Thursday of next week, severe weather continues across the Ohio Valley and deep south with all hazards possible. We are talking about a severe weather day every single day for 10 to 15 days flat out. This pattern is relentless. Severe weather season is not near its peak yet, and we are already at this activity level in early April. This could be one of the most active Aprils in years. The Great Plains are about to get hammered repeatedly. Both the GFS and European model are in strong agreement. 2 separate severe weather clusters for mid to late April. The 3rd and 4th weeks of April also look very active, plain and simple. This is an all-month pattern. Now let's talk rainfall. Multiple inches are expected across the middle of the country over the next 15 days. The heaviest rainfall band runs through the southern plains and Midwest, well above normal precipitation totals for this time of year. Omaha is at 52 degrees. The I-80 corridor through Des Moines and the Quad Cities will see significant rainfall. Turn around, don't drown. Burn that phrase into your memory if you live near any flood-prone area from Texas to the Great Lakes. Houston is at 67 degrees with possible storms tonight. Gulf Coast communities need to watch for local flooding risk. San Antonio is at 76 degrees, sitting right in the zone where Sunday's severe weather threat reaches its southern extent along I-35. Fort Worth is at 65 degrees. The real DFW story is Sunday and Monday's organized severe weather setup. Not tonight. Austin is at 72 degrees today, warm, humid, and the Gulf moisture powering Sunday's supercells is already loading up. Corpus Christi is at 75 degrees today. The deep Gulf moisture feeding this weekend's supercell environment is clearly on display. New Orleans is at 72 degrees with warm southerly winds. Gulf moisture feeding next week's systems is already loading up. Here's the straight talk on the big picture. This pattern is being compared to the most active setups in over a year. The ingredient list for Monday is legitimately impressive strong jet stream, deep moisture, massive instability, and a negatively tilted trough. Negatively tilted trough is the jet stream orientation that squeezes the most dangerous energy out of any storm Monday has it. Plano and Grand Prairie, Texas are at 64 degrees today. The entire DFW Metroplex needs eyes wide open by Sunday afternoon. Baton Rouge is at 70 degrees today. The lower Mississippi Valley needs to watch both flooding and severe weather risks simultaneously. Minneapolis is at 40 degrees today, and by Sunday, even Minnesota has a legit severe weather risk. Unusual for mid-April. Milwaukee is at 38 degrees today, winter weather right now, but the warm sector will completely dominate by next weekend. Chicago is at 36 degrees today. Tuesday's severe weather risk extends into western Illinois, and the metro cannot dismiss this setup. Indianapolis is at 39 degrees Indiana, and the Ohio Valley may see severe weather as this system evolves Monday and Tuesday. Columbus. Ohio is at 50 degrees on the fringe of where Tuesday's and Wednesday's systems could push severe weather eastward. Detroit is at 40 degrees today. The Great Lakes region sits on the northern fringe of Tuesday's expanding severe weather corridor. St. Paul. Minnesota is at 40 degrees, and yet by Sunday, the whole upper Midwest could face a severe weather threat. Here is the good news buried inside this wild pattern. Temperatures ahead of Sunday's trough will be spectacular. No-brainer good news. The warm sector ahead of Sunday and Monday's storms will push well above normal temperatures from Texas to the Great Lakes. Denver is at 55 degrees, and sunny, warm Rockies air is part of what sets up Monday's sharp energy contrast. Phoenix is at 81 degrees, and bone-dry southwest heat creates the contrast with plains moisture that fuels these storms. Las Vegas is at 70 degrees and sunny quiet. Dry West Coast conditions stand in sharp contrast to the churning central U.S. Here is what you need to know about your safety plan. This stretch, do not wing it. Folks, plain and simple. Know your shelter lowest floor, interior room. Away from every window, make sure your whole household knows that spot. Have your phone fully charged before bed each night in a multi-day pattern. Warnings can drop at any hour. Today is Safe Place Selfie Day from NOAA. Find your safe shelter spot at home and join the National Preparedness Awareness Campaign. Safe Place Selfie is not just a hashtag, it is NOAA's reminder to actually locate your shelter before the storm, not during it. If you are in a flood-prone neighborhood, identify your evacuation route before Thursday, not after the water rises, before. Check on your elderly neighbors this week, y'all. In a prolonged pattern like this, isolated seniors need someone looking out for them. Outdoor workers and farmers across the Central Plains, you have a narrow window of calm this week before dangerous conditions arrive. Here is the honest confidence assessment for this whole stretch. Saturday and Sunday are high confidence. Storm Prediction Center is committed. Monday is also high confidence on the broad threat, but the exact low-pressure positioning shifts where the worst storms actually fire, if Monday's low tracks further north. The Midwest gets the worst further south, means the Ozarks and Texas see more action. Either way, somewhere in the central U.S. will have a very dangerous Monday. That is a certainty at this point. Drop your city in the comments. One more time. Amarillo watching Saturday, or Kansas City bracing for Monday's potential outbreak. Come back every single day this week as we get closer. Specific towns across the threat zone will start getting named. What I can tell you right now, this is not social media hype. This is legitimate alarm from the Storm Prediction Center. The GFS European model and multiple ensemble systems are all pointing at the same dangerous and prolonged pattern. The Great Plains are going to be on absolute fire with storm systems hammering through flat out relentless, no let up in sight. Make your plan today. Share it with your family, and make sure everyone knows where to go when sirens go off. Make your plan today, because when that first tornado warning drops this weekend, there is no time left to figure it out. 3,000 joules over Oklahoma, 4 slight risks in a row, up to 15 straight days full attention required. Come back tomorrow as each day passes and short-range models kick in. We can give you much more specific town-by-town guidance. The atmosphere is about to flip into severe weather overdrive. Every major model system is saying the same thing right now. We will be right here every single day, tracking this parade of storms. Your safety is what this is all about. Stay alert, stay prepared. A parade of severe weather days is on the way, and being ready before Thursday is what matters. The parade never stops in mid-April. We'll be right here every single day as this historic pattern unfolds. Stay safe out there. Folks, the parade of storms starts Thursday, and we will be right here tracking every development.